Hi, I'm Dan Cairl, and I teach 5th and 6th grade science at Fremont Middle School. And I've been very fortunate here that our school board will allow me to have fur and feathered animals in my classroom, along with plenty of other animals. I recently received these 2 sugar gliders. One of our aides here at school has a sister who lives in Fort Wayne, and they were unable to keep them any longer, and she asked if I would be interested in them. And of course, being a normal school teacher, I won't refuse anything that's free. So our school board did approve for me to have these in my classroom, and so I have them here. One is London and the other one is Paris. So we've had quite a good time. I've got salamanders, turtles. I try to keep as many examples of different animals that I can in my classroom. I have a rose-haired tarantula from South America. I have some hissing cockroaches from Madagascar. And, well, they're quite entertaining, and I'm sure that the kids really enjoy them and will probably remember them the rest of their lives. Okay, this is Sally the salamander. We study an awful lot with ecosystems and what we have right here in Northeast Indiana. Obviously, we're blessed with all the lakes that we have and all the wildlife, and this happens to be a salamander that somebody found on their property and brought it in, and we kept it alive all winter long. This is Rex, our leopard gecko, and I received a phone call from someone on Coldwater Lake last year that had this gecko and decided they didn't want to keep it any longer. And again, I couldn't refuse cage and animal and food and all, and so I went and got this gecko. This is Tweety, our parakeet, and we enjoy Tweety. We don't get Tweety out. My job is not to run a zoo here and have the kids petting the animals all the time, but we do study their habitat and what they eat, and they're quite interesting animals. I have acquired a couple hissing cockroaches from Madagascar. They eat lettuce and potatoes, and I have some apple in there right now, but of course the most interesting thing about them is when you go to pick them up, sometimes they will hiss at you. I have a collection of stuffed roadkill, which is very rare. I am not a taxidermist. I did not stuff these animals, but I lived in Fort Wayne at one time, and my wife and I went to a lady's house, and she had a cat on her mantle that never moved. And I found out that she was a taxidermist, and she took us into her attic, and she had quite a collection of stuffed animals. But she did a fantastic job, and so I have a nice little collection. She asked me if I wanted any of those animals for my classroom, and I said, well, of course I do. And so I have a muskrat, I've got several squirrels and a chipmunk, and I have a weightlifting woodchuck.
I've learned a lot from this class, and this class means like everything because I have to be a veterinarian when I'm older, and seeing and interacting with all these animals means a lot to me.